Welcome back to EuroFootball Daily, where today we're counting down 9 of the most bizarre and unexpected title races in recent history. 9. 2009-10 Eredivisie. Since the Eredivisie was established in 1956, Ajax, Feyenoord and PSV have dominated the division, winning all but 6 titles. And in the 09-10 season, the three Dutch giants were looking to prevent something that had only ever happened once previously, and that's none of them winning the title in back-to-back campaigns, with AZ having triumphed in the 08-09 season. In fact, in the previous campaign, none of the big three even finished in the top 2, as FC Twente pipped Ajax to second spot, something the Amsterdam club were determined to set right. And they did an incredible job, dropping just 17 points and scoring 106 goals, with Luis Suarez netting a third of them as they hit 85 points, the second highest total in club history at the time. But Martin Jol's side were still left stunned come May. FC Twente bagged 86 points, yes, despite Ajax scoring at least 3 goals in 21 matches and winning their final 14 matches. Steve McClaren's Twente side also ground out result after result, topping the table for half the season and going unbeaten at home to claim their first ever Eredivisie. Brian Ruiz was the main man of the moment, netting 24 of their 63 goals, with Chelsea loanee Miroslav Stoch also chipping in with 10, a season to remember. 8. 2000-01 Bundesliga. In 2001, the Bundesliga title came down to the very last kick of the season, as Schalke were looking to prevent Bayern Munich winning a third consecutive league title. But whilst it came down to the Royal Blues on the final day, a host of other clubs also had a look in over the course of the season, as Borussia Dortmund, Bayer Leverkusen and Hertha Berlin all spent multiple rounds atop the Bundesliga table in the 2001 campaign. Even 5th placed Hertha finished just 7 points off the eventual winners, but ultimately it came down to Bayern and Schalke on game day 34. Schalke entered the day 3 points off Bayern, but with a superior goal difference, and survived an early scare to defeat the relegated Unterhaching 5-3. And when Hamburg took a 90th minute lead against Bayern, it looked like the title was heading north to Gelsenkirchen, and fans invaded the pitch in celebration. However, Hamburg's goalkeeper, who was on loan from Schalke, picked up a back pass in the 94th minute, and centre-back Patrick Andersen scored from the resulting free kick, his first and only goal for the Bavarians. The ball hit the net, the final whistle was blown, and Schalke hearts were broken. That is the closest they had come to a league title since their last in 1958. 7. 2002-03 La Liga. Now, it's not like Real Sociedad are a small club. They've spent just 3 seasons outside La Liga since 1967, and between 1969 and 1986 finished in the top half in all but one campaign. La Real, based in San Sebastian in North Spain, even won back-to-back titles in 1981 and 1982, but their assault on the league in 2002-03 came out of absolutely nowhere. In each of their previous 3 seasons, Real Sociedad finished 13th, only avoiding relegation by 2 points in 2001. But at the start of the 02-03 season, the side went unbeaten in their first 19 league games, and didn't surrender top spot until March, when Real Madrid finally overtook them. However, there was still more twists and turns to come in the final 2 months. La Real, powered by the goals of Nihat Kovacic and Darko Kovacevic, and featuring a young Xabi Alonso in midfield, reclaimed the top spot with just 5 games left, and with 2 matches left, held a 1-point lead over Los Blancos. But defeat to Celta Vigo saw Vicente Del Bosque's team of Galacticos move back into first and ultimately win their 29th La Liga title. Real Sociedad returned to form next campaign, finishing 15th. Showing just how unlikely their 2002-03 season was. 6. 2013-14 Premier League. It's fair to say the title challenge that Liverpool put up in 2013-14 came out of basically nowhere. The club hadn't finished in the top 5 since 2009, and the season immediately prior they had ended up in 7th place in Brendan Rodgers' debut campaign, 28 points off league winners Manchester United. But despite their only signing of note being goalkeeper Simon Mignolet, Liverpool emerged as the early pace setters in 13-14. The Reds did though fall to 5th at the halfway stage after suffering back-to-back 2-1 defeats to Manchester City and then Chelsea, the two teams they'd soon be locked in a battle with right until the final day. This was due to a 16-game unbeaten run, which itself featured an 11-game win streak, which saw them move back into pole position with 3 games remaining. Then came 2 of the most infamous games in club history, the Gerrard slip in the match against Chelsea and Christian Ball, where they threw away a 3-0 lead over Crystal Palace with just 10 minutes to play, which opened the door for City to snatch the title on the final day. Regardless, it was a bold attempt at glory for Rodgers' side, who bagged a club record 101 goals, with Luis Suarez and Daniel Sturridge netting over half of them. 5. 2006-07 Bundesliga. Any Bundesliga title race that doesn't feature Bayern Munich in some capacity is very much an anomaly in German football, and that's exactly what happened in the 06-07 season. The Bavarian Giants finished in 4th, the only time they finished outside the top 3 in the last 25 years, as the unlikely trio of Schalke, Stuttgart and Werder Bremen went toe-to-toe for the title. Werder were the early pace setters, topping the table for most of the first half of the campaign before back-to-back defeats to both of their challengers left them chasing Schalke, as we've already addressed once, were in pursuit of their first title since the 1950s, and themselves led the way for most of the second half, and when they beat Stuttgart in game week 26, found themselves with a 7-point advantage over their opponents. But the race was far from over, as Stuttgart won their final 8 matches of the campaign, powered by Mario Gomez's 14 goals for the season, while Schalke would pick up just 15 points, surrendering top spot on the penultimate day of the campaign. A 2-0 win over Energy Cookbus on the final day was enough for De Rotten to claim the Bundesliga title for their 3rd time in their history. 4. 2011-12 Scottish Premiership. As is custom in Scotland, this was a league title that was to be contested by 2 teams, Celtic and Rangers. And when Ali McCoist's Rangers side went unbeaten in their first 15 matches, opening a 9-point lead over their rivals, it was looking almost inevitable that title number 55 was on its way to Ibrox. However, Neil Lennon's Celtic went on a 17-match winning run to edge ahead of Rangers entering February. And despite there being 3 months of the campaign left to play, the title race was all but over. Not because of anything that happened on the pitch though, as Rangers owner Craig White placed his club into administration on Valentine's Day, which brought with it a 10-point deduction. Some may have seen this coming, as 20 players left Rangers during the winter transfer window, as it emerged the club could have debts of over £100 million. Unsurprisingly, their form nosedived, although a 3-2 victory over Celtic did at least prevent their rivals winning the league at Ibrox. A rare occasion of a league title being won due to off-field events, and it went from bad to worse for Rangers. They would be shut down as a club, paving the way for Celtic to dominate the next decade. 3. 1992-93 Premier League. Even though the Premier League very quickly became Sir Alex Ferguson and Manchester United's domain, entering the first season of the competition in 1992-93, there was not a clear-cut favourite for the winner. Leeds United were reigning champions, while Sheffield Wednesday, Arsenal and Manchester City had all finished in touching distance of runners-up Man United. But the early pace setters included newly promoted sides Blackburn Rovers and Ipswich Town, whilst at the halfway stage, Norwich City, who only survived relegation the previous season on the final day, found themselves with a 3-point lead at the top of the table, with Manchester United 5 points off in 3rd spot. United though would reach top spot in February and hold onto it for the rest of the season, slowly pulling away from the chasing pack, which also featured Aston Villa. But that doesn't take away from the likes of the Canaries, who with 6 games remaining were in 2nd, just 1 point behind Fergie's side, and ultimately finished 3rd and qualified for the UEFA Cup. This was despite having a goal difference of -4, the highest a side has ever finished with a negative goal difference. 2. 1999-2000 La Liga. In a league dominated by Barcelona and Real Madrid, it's always headline news when a side outside the rivalry wins La Liga, with such an event only happening 5 times in the last 36 years. One of those campaigns came at the dawn of the new millennium, as Deportivo La Coruna won the title, but what was more astonishing is just how comfortable it was by the Galician side. Managed by Javier Irureta, Deportivo moved into top spot after a 5-2 demolition of Sevilla in November, part of a 7-game winning streak, and then remained there for the following 7 months. Barcelona, Deportivo Alaves and Real Zaragoza all had stints in second place, but none truly threatened, despite the 69 points Deportivo La Coruna picked up being the lowest to win La Liga since 3 points were introduced for a victory. With a line led by future Bayern Munich star Roy Mackay, who netted 22 goals, the squad also featured former Portugal top scorer Pauleta and current Argentina manager Lionel Scaloni. Having finished runners-up in La Liga themselves twice before, it was a deserved first title for the club, and a season they revere even more, having now fallen into the 3rd tier of Spanish football. 1. 2015-16 Premier League. Whilst a bizarre title race doesn't always result in surprise winners, the 2015-16 Premier League provided us with both, as 5,000 to 1 outsiders Leicester City claimed their first ever top flight crown. But it's not like they had to fend off one of the country's traditional powers, with Jose Mourinho in meltdown mode at Chelsea and Manchester United still suffering from their post-Fergie hangover. Their competitors were Arsene Wenger's Arsenal, a Spurs side led by Mauricio Pochettino, and a Manchester City side that had grown tired under Manuel Pellegrini. At the halfway stage of the campaign, the Gunners were on top, leading Claudio Ranieri's Foxes by goal difference, but one by one each of their challengers fell away. City lost 4 of 6 in the spring, whilst Arsenal won just 8 of 19 matches in the second half of the season. So with 10 games remaining, that left Spurs as the only side that could derail Leicester's dream, 2 points behind the side that hadn't left the top 2 since late November. But defeat to West Ham, a draw with Arsenal, then that infamous clash at Chelsea saw them too fade away. Leicester only lost 3 games all season in a deserved triumph, while somehow Spurs would slip to 3rd on the final day behind rivals Arsenal. So those were our 9 weirdest title races, but have we missed anyone out? Let me know in the comments below, and what other ideas for videos we should be doing down there as well. If you've enjoyed the video, then make sure you like it, and if you want to see more EuroFootball Daily content, then smash that subscribe button. I'll see you later. Bye.